All right. So, one great thing about being really good friends to the great Kevin Gillespie is every now and then I can call him up and ask him for a favor. You went quiet on me there, Kevin. Like, back me
Well,
up there.
you haven't asked the favor yet.
So, so for those of you might be new to us, Kevin Gillespie runs a thing that we call our Leadership Academy, which is basically branch managers, division managers, company owners, people that are they've been sole producers and now they want to start leveraging to become a branch manager, and the people in your group, high end uh, great results. And you're such a humble guy. You've really helped them grow a lot.
Well, thank you.
So as somebody that runs a branch, I was talking with somebody else here right before we started this call, and we were talking about an issue that he has that I thought I bet a lot of us can relate to it. So that was a long lead in, and the editor hopefully will cut most of that out. But here's my question.
Okay.
Or it's a situation. How do this was his question to me. How does a branch manager focus on their top 20%, spending most of their time with their top 20% producers and the least amount of their time with the bottom 80%? And this might sound a little cold, right? And sometimes our conversations are difficult ones, right? They are difficult. Cause
Right.
here's the problem. If we're spending all of our time, like all of us that are run branches, all of us have that 80/20 going on. And actually, it's usually much more severe than that. Usually it's like, like I would say, like in my branch, and brother, I got a great branch, I got great people, and I do. But I bet you, mine as well as everybody else's, I bet your top 10% is doing at least 90% of all the volume in the branch.
Not unusual.
Not unusual. So, but here's the thing. So, and I'm going to talk as this guy was talking because I find myself doing the exact same thing. I really want to help my bottom 80% become my top 20%, right? So I really want to help them out. And you and I know that it's really, really, really easy with the right direction, right? It's really, really easy to go from two loans to say six a month. Going
Um,
from zero to two is hard. Like I would say the hardest step is zero to two. And then going from two to six, pretty darn easy. Again, doing the right things, right?
right.
And so I know that helping my people that are doing two get to six easily, I've seen in 90 days, like a walk in the park. Well, I mean, you got to work. I'm not trying to make this sound too easy, but you got to work.
I get it.
Yeah, yeah. The problem is when what we find ourselves doing is spending a lot of our time on the bottom 80%, frankly, because we're good people and we want to help them, right? And I look at people like, and I hope it's okay to use a name here, like I'm blessed, Sharon Wolford.
Awesome.
Yeah, just an amazing lady. And this lady's cranking some serious double digit numbers. Like she's really, really, really good numbers. The thought that goes through my head sometimes, Sharon's absolutely amazing. You point her in the right direction, and hell, you could point her in the wrong direction, and she'd figure it out and turn around and go in the right direction, right? She's an animal,
Absolutely.
nice as could
Okay.
be, but like, so sometimes I tell myself, Sharon didn't need my help because she's already amazing, right? And so I don't call her near as much as the guy or the lady that's goose egg last month. And I'm calling and say, hey man, I want to help you. Where are we at here? What do we need to do? Which I already know what they need to do, right? You and I both know. So how do I make sure that I'm feeding into uh helping, asking them where they need help? Because everybody needs help. I don't care if closing 200 loans a month. Everybody needs help to go to the next level, right? Everybody. But yet I tell myself they're good at they got it. They don't need my help. They're in good. Oh, we have to close their loans, right? We have to close them on time. We have to provide them good help. I get that. We got to be competitive on our rates. I get all that. Um, but I think, she don't need my help closing any more loans because she's got it on her own. And I'm spending my time with the lower producers, which are awesome people. They're just not there yet. Or am I doing the right thing by spending most of my time with the bottom 80%, trying to get to that top 20%? But then do my 20% feel like I'm ignoring them? Or are they like, Carl, we don't need your help. We're, not in a snarky way. You helped us get to where we are. We're good to go. That's the conundrum we were talking about today. So a little bit of a running off there a little bit, but so I guess so if I had to ask a question, am I doing it right? Am I screwing up? Like,
I I think it depends. I think there's is a leader, at least in my humble opinion, that you got to do a couple of things. And boy, I've done it wrong. I've done it wrong a lot. And this is learning and following and watching other people do it right is what I've come up with, learning a lot of it from you. Is I think there's a couple things you got to do is you got to develop a couple of processes.
okay,
One is a process to help sales, right? Whether it be your weekly sales meeting or a regular calling system, and that everybody can participate in. But you and I know that top 20 to 30% are going to be the ones that raise their hand, show up regularly, and the
always
people
show up.
we've seen, and we've had several of them, they set up this system and they do go from 2 to 6 loans, right? They do, but it's those people who show up and do it regularly. So you got to put in that system, and the lower 80% or 70%, they're welcome to do it. The challenge, I think, is because we're nice people.
Yeah.
Now, we want, like you said, we want to help people, and we spend too much time on that lower, and the others, man, they just you got to keep telling them how great they're doing. You got to keep helping them. Let the others decide if they want to come along. But we make the mistake of spending the time on the lower half, and a lot of them don't want to come along. Oh, they may say, "Oh yeah, I want to be successful," and give you lip service, but are they actually going to step up? And so there's
But
some processes to motivate, to overcome call reluctance, to set up the sales meetings, to the process. But man, you don't see the top football coaches, the Nick Sabans of the world's out there
mm,
spending 80% of their time on their bottom 20 or on their bottom 50%.
on their third
They still
string.
get to participate in practice. They still got the chance to prove they can make it into this week's game. But man, you got to have a system where it gives attention to everybody and it doesn't take up all your time. And there's multiple systems out there. You and I've got a couple of them that work really well. And every one of our people and branch managers and leaders who have implemented, and by the way, what's funny about these systems, they don't cost anything. It's not like you got to go spend $1 million or 100,000 or 10,000 to put in this process. It's developing a regular routine in training. The second thing I would suggest is you always got to be recruiting, because the other thing about us being nice people, well, I don't want to push these people too hard to make calls. They may leave me. I get a couple of loans from them.
Mhm.
Man, it's not going to cost you that much if they leave you. I think you're better off having a system that, hey, here's how we do it here. Here's our culture. And I'll never forget, I read a book, and I mentioned Nick Saban by him and his coaches. And a couple of the coaches were saying, yeah, but we got to do this or we got to do that, for this one special player. And it was like, guys, they got to know who we are, what we're about. and what they're going to do. Otherwise, how do we know that they're coming for us if we're just placating to them? And that's what we as many leaders do. One, that makes sense. And then the other is, I think you got to set up a recruiting system because people are going to unfortunately die or leave or be recruited away or move or whatever. So you want to always have a recruiting process. Again, doesn't cost you really anything, but a regular process so you're building the funnel and you have a chance to bring on more of those better producers. Because if you think about it, I'll go back to the football example. Man, they're out there recruiting, right? Or other sports teams are recruiting, or colleges are recruiting. Top corporations are recruiting because they know they got to constantly be looking for the top talent that want to come in and do it their way to join their organization. Does that make sense? I hope it does.
It does. I tell you, I wrote down three things so far. Hey there. Hey, if you're loving the tips so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button right down there and then tap the little bell so that you never miss out on more free cool tips coming your way. Also, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment beneath there. Let me know what you think or tell me what you'd like to hear next. For my own personal notes. So, number one, offer the training and the top producers show up. Everybody else has an excuse. And you can either have progress or an excuse. You can't have both. So I wrote down they have to it's my obligation to make an offer to train, but whether they show up or not is on them. Number two, I wrote down what you just said here or what I got out of it. They have to want it as much for themselves as I want it for them.
100%.
I can't want their success more than they want their success. And then number three, always be recruiting. Like always be adding talent onto the team. Uh,
Can I express a fourth one that
tell me,
I probably didn't touch on enough?
tell me.
We spend so much time because we're nice people worrying about what that lower half will think,
Mm,
right? And worried about running them off or
mm,
them leaving us or going someplace else. And because of that, we lower the expectations, we lower the standards of the operation. And the
mhm.
truth is, if they left, it wouldn't be that big a deal.
You know, one
We
thing
so
I
we
found,
so we should hold the standard higher. Yeah, I guess is what I'm saying. Does that
it does because you know what you know though. Here's my I got two thoughts on this, and I want to write down so I don't forget. Um, Two thoughts on this, and they're kind of opposing each other. It's that north south of a
yeah?
magnet, you know.
Okay.
So first thing, I want to have nothing but top producers because number one, it creates a great culture, right? And you're surrounded by people that will lift each other up and help each other and have that abundance mindedness, which is just a great culture to have. And when we're recruiting, nothing scares a recruit away faster than they walk into your room and they smell a bunch of pony poop all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember my dear friend Perry Belcher uh, always used to tell me, he said, Carl, feed the stallion, starve the ponies. Feed the stallion, starve the ponies, you know. And so, I can't tell how many people, we're talking to, about joining up over here on the mortgage side. And they say, well, tell me about your top producers, right? And if I show them a list of the production of all the loan officers in the branch, and let's just say on a hypothetical situation, the highest producer, which is not the case, highest producer is like 4 units a month, which is fine. Nothing wrong with four. But if that's the highest, they're going to go, well, gosh, I'm not going to learn anything from these people because I'm already doing four. I'm already doing two, and I think I can get to four quick. I need a bigger carrot. I need a faster rabbit to be chasing. So nothing scares away stallions more than if they walk in and smell pony poop. However, in saying that, Kevin, Man, I am so grateful. And I mean this to my core heart, my core of core. I'm so grateful that when I was pony poop per se, that a wonderful man named Dave Hoyt took me under his wing and taught me the business and spent some time with me. And so I don't want to think that I was a pony. I think like I was a baby stallion, or so to speak. I don't know what the right term would be, but in the effort and energy he poured into me, God, it paid off both for him and in a huge way
But you
myself
wanted
too.
it. The key is you wanted it.
Hmm.
As you said, you can't want it more than the team member does as a leader.
Hmm.
It, Dave wanted it for you, but you wanted it just as bad, if not worse, right?
Hmm.
Versus the person you think, well, I'll show them and get them to do it. Yeah, not always. The best athletes are looking for what teams do I want to join. Yours is the same way. Whether it be, the best schools to go to or the best corporations to join.
Hmm.
Our operations are so different, but we take this lower standard kind of good old boy approach and it doesn't work. You got to have that system, that process to take the ponies who want to up to a stallion level.
Yeah. Hmm.
100%. Yeah. And then you got
Yeah.
to keep always looking for them because you'll find,
Yeah.
I mean, how many of you recruited where you thought, well, I don't know, but man, some of these people will really surprise you.
Oh,
You
it
get the
never
good ones.
ceases to amaze me. Like my first, I'll be talking to somebody, and I think I'm talking to, say, a Clark Kent, and whatever the female version of Clark Kent is, right? So I
Right.
think, eh, and then we look at their numbers, and it's like, holy cow, who is this lady or who is this dude?
Yeah.
It never ceases to
100%.
amaze me, and so I that's why I'm always eager to try to help those in the lower producers because again, somebody helped me. And I guess maybe what it is, maybe this is the answer. Maybe the answer is you give them a shot to prove to me that you want it bad enough that you're willing to do whatever it takes, being legal, ethical, and moral, of course, right? I'm not saying that,
Mhm.
of course, that we'll give anybody a shot, uh, but you got to prove that you want it, kind of thing. And then as soon as they prove that they don't want it, that I want it more for them than they want it for themselves, I don't know, maybe you cut bait.
Yeah, I think typically you're going to have a standard. If they're not costing you anything, some people say, "Well, we'll keep them on. I'll get a couple loan." That's one theory, and not we got a lot of companies that do that, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
Others will say, "No, I don't want that kind of culture," and they'll have a standard of, "Man, you got to be doing a minimum of 3 loans a month,
Hmm.
over a rolling 90 days, or what." But
Hmm.
set some sort of standard.
Hmm.
But the also you got to watch is kind of putting this call system in place and saying, hey, you got to come in and do this, and if you want, we're here, and they can come, right?
Hmm.
But avoid where they don't want to meet the standards and come to the regular meetings and do the training and do your sales process, but then they want everything else you got, which takes your time and money and effort, right? You got there's got to be give and take in it. And so a lot of that in your recruiting process, how you set the standard, here's what we expect when you come on, that there's a whole process for that to bring them on so that you
Hmm.
don't waste too much time.
Hmm. Well, I think it's been helpful, man.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm not going to judge whether I think they're going to be successful or not. I'll let them prove themselves. I'll let them stand in whatever, because there's only two lines there, and I'll let them decide which line they're standing in,
100%.
right? And then feed that the line that there's the line saying, "Hey, I want it, and here's my action proving it." Um, they get fed first. I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
a better way of saying it.
absolutely.
It might sound kind of cold-hearted, but that line is available to anybody, and who's going to raise their hand? I'll do it. Number two, I'm going to continue looking for talent. Right? I think that's the main things is
Yeah.
identifying who wants it. Hey, I know you're getting ready to go. You got one of your private clients you're meeting with. On our next one, can we talk more about recruiting and like kind of some best of
I like that.
things like that?
Yeah, I'd like that.
I like
Yeah,
that too.
let's do it.
Hey, gosh, Kevin, if somebody wants to find out more information about the Leadership Academy, what's the best way to do
Yeah,
that?
if you want to find out what we do or get some ideas on recruiting or how you put this call structure in place, yeah, we'd be happy to talk to you. No pressure, just good conversation. Go to profitdrivenplan.com. Profitdrivenplan.com.
Once I go there, what happens? Is it like put me on account? Like what happens when I go to that
Yeah,
web?
you just schedule a short 15, 20-minute call and we can see where you're at and what you're doing and can we help you and does it make sense? And if not, that's okay too. So
If not, if nothing else, I'll go away some good information.
100%
You're a good man, Kevin. I appreciate you, brother.
for you, man. You're looking good, bud.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Thank you.